In this video, I will explain how to manually score the bot. It is important to mention that each bot kit comes with an administration manual as well as a scoring manual. The scoring manual has information related to research statistics, including confidence intervals. It also has percentile ranks and age equivalents, which is what I will explain to you throughout this video. Here is a picture of a scoring packet. On the top right corner of the screen, you see a box with test date, birth date, and chronological age. For the purpose of this video, we will be using the age of a 4-year and 7-month-old female. The next box below describes the individual's preferred hand and leg. And below that, you specify the sex of the individual. The next step is to fill out the client's name, sex, grade, as well as the examiner's name and the individual school. This video is made for an OT school project, so there is no school associated with the individual being tested. Moving along to the big box in the center of the screen. Each subtest is listed on the left side of the screen. After completing each item in the subtest, scores are calculated and a total point score is given. Column 1 on the left is designated as the total point score. The next column is the scale score. This number is found in tables B1 to B3 in the scoring manual. For learning purposes, you are looking at table B1 on the screen. That is the designated table for females ages 4 years and 4 months to 4 years and 7 months. Each subtest is listed in the horizontal axis across the top. To find the scale score, select the subtest you want, then find the total point score. When you find that score, look over into the left or right vertical columns to find the correlated scale score. That is the number that gets put in the scale score column. After these scores are transferred to the scoring sheet, both scaled scores are combined to create a grouped score, which will be explained in the next picture. Next is finding the standard score. The standard score can be found in tables B4 to B7 in the scoring manual. For learning purposes, you are looking at table B4 on the screen. Again, these scores are found in a similar way to the scale score. This time, we are using the grouped categories Fine Manual Control, Manual Coordination, Body Coordination, and Strength and Agility. Similarly to the scale score, choose the category, followed by finding the number that correlates. You will then scan to the right vertical row to find your standard score. Transfer these scores onto the main scoring sheet for your standard score. To find confidence intervals, you will use tables C1 to C4 in the scoring manual. To clarify, the scores on my scoring sheet reflect a 95% confidence interval. These numbers are mainly used for research purposes. Table C1, pictured here, are the values needed to produce 95% confidence intervals for subtest scale scores. Since the individual I tested is 4 years old, I followed the first row at 95%. So, fine motor precision was a 4, fine motor integration was a 5, and so on. This number is then transferred back to the main page and put in the band column. The band number is then added and subtracted from your scaled score in each subtest. For example, the individual has a scale score of 19, so we add 4 to get 23, and then subtract 5 to get 15. These two numbers were put in the interval column of the scoring sheet. You continue this for all the subtests. The same calculation is completed for fine manual control, manual coordination, body coordination, strength and agility, and total motor composite, except with these categories, you would use table number C3, as shown here. Moving along to the percentile rank, you will use the sum of the scale scores for this section. Again, this number can be found in tables B4 to B7, just like we found the standard score, except this time you will locate the sum score, then scan to the left vertical column to find the correlated percentile rank. Once those numbers are found, transfer the scores to the main scoring sheet. Finding the age equivalents. This can be found on tables B14 to B16 in the scoring manual. This time, you will use the total point score from each subtest and match it with the designated age equivalents found on the left and right columns on the border of the table. For example, in the first column, fine motor precision, The individual scored a 21. If you find 21 in the column and follow your finger to the left column, you will see the age equivalent 4 years 10 months to 4 years 11 months. These are the numbers that you will transfer onto the main scoring sheet. The last column you will see descriptive category. This can be found in table C13 as seen on the screen. This is a pretty self-explanatory table from what you can see. You follow along this chart using the scale score, standard score, and percentile rank to find if the individual you are testing scored well above average, average, or below average. You can complete this for each of the subtests and combine categories. To interpret the scores of my individual, she scored in the above average to average categories for her age and sex. This is a good sign of typical development and no need for additional occupational therapy services. As occupational therapists, we would be concerned if an individual was scoring below average throughout different categories. Of course, we can take into consideration the environment or comorbidities that are influencing the assessment. If an individual scored below average, it is a good indicator that they may benefit from additional skilled OT services either in the school or at an outpatient level. If you are ever concerned about a child's development as an OT, you can reach out to their pediatrician or recommend to their caregivers that they follow up with a pediatrician. I hope this video helps you understand a little bit more about the BOT and how it is scored. Thank you for watching.